Thursday night American Legion Baseball on Zaleski Sports brings us to Bay Oregon Field in Kaukauna, Wisconsin. Tonight, two teams from the Fox Valley Conference, Fox Valley Association, get round number 4 and pick up action from their school year seasons. One of these teams beat the other narrowly at the beginning of the year on April 28th, but hasn't won since, including a loss to end their season in early June. The other got 2 of the 3, including one to help win them the state championship. Tonight, they face off for the first time as Summer Legion teams this season. It's the Kimberly Cougars and the Kaukauna Angels. We welcome you upstairs to the booth here from Bay Oregon Field at Kaukauna, Wisconsin. I'm Miles Detroit. Alongside me as well is Jeremy Hendricks, our scoreboard operator and announcer, PA announcer for tonight, and a smaller press box with some less table space, so it's going to be 2 up here on a beautiful night for some baseball. But great storyline for, most importantly, is outside of the summer season, is the school year. Both these teams had, obviously, Kaukauna, I've mentioned it multiple times, covering the team this summer. State champions, no better ending to the season than winning the Division I state championship. And Kimberly ended up ending their season losing to this team in the sectional semifinal in early June 9th, the exact date, and they lost 9-0 to a team that Kimberly won the FVA conference in the school year, and Kaukauna took second, and then got their season ended short in the sectional semi at their place at Kimberly to unfortunately end their 2026 campaign. But tonight they get the first action of summer teams, and it should be a great game. The Cougars and the Angels, and just specifically for Kimberly, a bunch of all-conference members. For Kaukauna, only 2 on the roster, and 1 not even starting tonight of Carson Gates, but Dylan Lotzer behind the dish will be the only all-conference returner in the starting 9 for the Angels. But as you see on their screen here, they finish up practice, infield practice before we get set. We're going to do a national anthem here in the pregame, and then I believe we're going to get going. We're coming off the 17U doubleheader, and I was informed by Jeremy, our scoreboard operator and PA announcer, that most of these players that you'll see in the 19U game also played in the 17U game. So that'll be interesting, regarding the talent and, what we'll see out on the field today, as Kimberly will come out and take a little bit of fielding practice. But like I said, just had that previous game. But also the physical aspect of it, mentally, you just had a game and they won 19-9, I believe, in after 6, as Kaukauna was the home team. They were able to score one run, I believe, in the bottom of the 6th, but wasn't enough. And Kimberly run-ruled the Kaukauna 17U team. But for the 19Us, Kimberly coming in 5-6. On Game Changer, they're listed as 7-8. Now, I guess you could say 8-8 with that previous win of 17U, but they're combined. The 17U and 19U are combined on Game Changer. And I believe, if I did my math correct and sorted the games out correctly, the 19U team sits at a 5-6 overall record coming into this game tonight, as we're a few minutes away from first pitch. And the Angels, on the other hand, come into action 6-2. They got a nice win over the Appleton Double Days this past Tuesday, in a game that was really close and just all of a sudden blew up in the 7th inning with combined 6 runs between the teams. It was tied 4-4 going into the 7th off Appleton's 2 errors on the defensive side. The Angels were able to score 4 runs, taking an 8-4 lead heading into the bottom of the 7th, where Appleton able to score 2 runs, but not enough to end up winning that game, as they fell to the Kaukauna Angels. And it's kind of some similar opponents. Kimberly and Appleton played each other last week, or actually this week, Monday, and Appleton won 9-11. So we're going to see a very tight game like we saw on Tuesday if you watched at Menasha, Wisconsin, as we're going to see here in Kaukauna, Wisconsin. But great to have you along here on Zaleski Sports. I'm Miles Detroit. So glad you could join us. I'm going to shout out my mom, as I did last week, Tuesday, for kind of being my check person, making sure the audio, video are all good. I have a total 38 views so far in the pregame, but so glad he could join us. And it's what should be a really exciting game here tonight as Kimberly finishes up their fielding practice. We're going to get a national anthem, I believe, as soon as they're done. And we're going to get right going here. No starting lineups from my friend Jeremy Hendricks. J-Dog, as he told me to call him. and we'll be set in a moment.
Welcome to the competition where only the best healthcare plans rise to the top. Megasure.
Presenting Paperwork Pound Cake, a half-baked plan with flaky service sprinkled on top.
Ooh. Next up, Security Health Plan.
I call this one the Sweet Security. It has high-quality coverage folded in, and it's frosted with award-winning local service that's sweet but never sugar-coated.
That's a slice of better.
Chef Security, congratulations. Truly the recipe for better.
Need a game plan that delivers marketing victories? Bear Performance Marketing is your full-service partner for strategic success. Offering comprehensive solutions that include brand development, social media marketing, branded products, and digital marketing. The goal is to streamline every aspect of marketing while maximizing results. With a focus on clear, transparent communication and a driven team ready to hustle, Bear Performance Marketing is your partner for marketing that outperforms the competition. Learn more at bearpm.com.
We welcome you back to Bay Oregon Field here in Kaukauna, Wisconsin. We're getting set for the national anthem here, and we want to thank our amazing game day sponsors as always. The same as last week Tuesday, Travel Leaders Discovery, Patel Technologies, and Bear Performance Marketing. Thank you for your endless support of Zaleski Sports and American Legion Baseball, specifically as we'll see here tonight on a Thursday night. But if you missed the pregame, I'll quickly recap what I mentioned, but two teams that are staples in the Fox Valley Association Conference. As we're going to see, I believe the coaches meeting coming up here, just keeping an eye out when our anthem will be. But Kimberly finishing atop the conference but losing to Kaukauna in playoffs to end their season in the sectional semifinal at Sunset Park at their home place. And it was a 9-0 loss too, and these two teams in conference, Kimberly was able to get the first win 2-1 on April 28th, as well in the second game. Kaukauna won that 6-1, and then obviously the playoff game, the Galloping Ghosts in the school year won 9-0 and ended up being the state champions, as many of you know. Well, like I said, we'll see them for the first time here tonight for the summer season. But again, great to have you along. We're kind of just waiting things out here for the national anthem as both coaches meet for the Cougars and the Angels. Again, I recap the last week game. Last week Tuesday, as Zaleski Sports was live for the Kaukauna Angels and Appleton Double Days matchup, which was really close. A total of 2 lead changes in that one, and it was ended up the Angels winning 8-6, and there were 6 runs scored in the 7th inning, as I said in the intro coming on to air, but it was tied 4-4 entering the 7th inning, and Kaukauna was able to get 4 runs off 2 errors from the Double Days that ended up being an 8-4 lead entering the bottom of the 7th with the Double Days' last chance, and they were able to just score 2 off some nice base running, some good base hits, and ended up losing 8-6. Moved the Angels to 6-2 on the year as they stand here tonight, facing the 5-6 Kimberly Cougars. A 7-8 combined record with the 17U, and according to my sorting, I believe the 19U is 5-6. So I'm going to take off the headsets here, and we're going to get set for the national anthem before first pitch. Let's send it to Jeremy Hendricks, our public address announcer. Again, we would like to thank our amazing game day sponsors for our American Legion baseball broadcast tonight on Zaleski Sports, Travel Leaders Discovery, Ampatel Technologies, and Bear Performance Marketing. We are getting set for first pitch here from Bay Oregon Field in Kaukauna, Wisconsin. Let's go through the starting lineups first for the offense for the Kimberly Cougars. And down the line, it's Brennan Hain, Wesley Knackers, Brady Merzlicker, Schaefer Peterson, Ryan Halfman, Drew Furman, Lucas Wong, Brady Yukis, and Harper West, the starting 9 for the Cougars offense for what you'll see the majority of this game. On the mound for the Kaukauna Angels, it's Maxwell Hippis going to get the start today. I believe, if I remember correctly, he got the start last week, Wednesday, in their 9-0 loss against New London. I believe he was the starter on the mound, or at least made an appearance off my memory last week, Wednesday. Backing him up left to right in the outfield, Nolan Lotzer, McCoy Luno, Brady Schwalbach. In the infield, left to right, Aiden Moss, Mason Hildebrand, Evan Durant, Chase Otradovic, and the honorable mention catcher, Dylan Lotzer, behind home plate. As Brennan Haynes steps into the left-handed batter's box, we are just about set for first pitch. Maxwell Hippis steps on the rubber, first pitch on the way, and in there for strike number 1, and we are underway here from Bay Oregon Field. Again, great to have you along here on Zaleski Sports. I'm Miles Detroit. Feel free to comment as we move along the night. There's a swinging strike number 2 from Hain. Brennan Hain, the shortstop in the infield for the Cougars defense, who you'll see in the next half inning. Looking to get the offense going here to start. Third pitch on the way. Just missed the zone. Ball number 1. 1-2 count to Brennan Hain. Hippis and the Angels defense looking for out number 1. 1-2 on the way. This one in there for strike number 3. A backwards K to start it. To start Maxwell Hippis night. And it's out number 1. It's a weird way to say it. Hippis plural. Hippis. Hippis's night. But Brennan Hain goes down, retired via the backwards K, and now steps in Wesley Knackers. First pitch from Hippis. Inside for strike number 1. 0-1 the count to Wesley Knackers, first baseman tonight for the Cougars. Second pitch, in there for strike 2. Already a good start on the mound for Maxwell Hippis, finding a rhythm early on. Here's the 0-2. This one chopped at, sent foul. Count stays at 0-2. Wesley Knackers looks to stay alive against Maxwell Hippis. Again, the infield from left to right, Aiden Moss, Mason Hildebrand, Evan Durant, Chase Otradovic, backing up the pitcher of Maxwell Hippis. Will be a freshman in college next school year. 0-2 on the way to Knackers. This one check swing, but he offered in for strike number 3. Back-to-back punch-outs to start Hippis's evening, and it's 2 outs here in the top of the first. And now it's Brady Merzlicker at the 3-hole spot in for the Cougars. After Hippis has made work of Hain and Knackers, the first 2 here in the offense for Kimberly. First pitch to Brady. This one a chopper down the left side, but foul for strike number 1. Merzlicker in right field tonight for the Cougars defense. Merzlicker as well, a second-team outfielder in the FVA last school year. A 1 pitch, right down the middle for strike 2. Hip is super consistent to start it here in the first. I believe, like I said, if my memory recalls, didn't have a great outing last week Wednesday. 0-2, a little dribbler down the third base line. It's going to stay in play. And chucked down to the first baseman, Chase Otradovic from Aiden Moss. It's in time for the final out of the inning. So Maxwell Hippis takes care of 2, and it's Aiden Moss to Chase Otradovic for the final out of the inning. We'll send it to the bottom of the first here on Zaleski Sports. Scoreless. You are listening to and watching Zaleski Sports, American Legion Baseball, powered by Travel Leaders Discovery.
Cobus Bus is hiring its drivers that they need. Cobuson Bus is hiring. It's the perfect job for me.
Cobuson Buses would like to thank all of our school bus drivers throughout the
Yeah.
state of Wisconsin for their safe driving. If you would like to make a difference in your community with a fun and rewarding part-time job, apply at cobuson.com.
You're a busy man.
Cobuson Bus is hiring. It's the perfect job for me.
Welcome back to Bay Oregon Field. We're getting set for the bottom of the first. It was a 1-2-3 inning for the Angels defense. And a 5-3 from Mosto Otradovic for out number 3 to end the inning. And now we will see the Kaukauna Angels offense here. And down the list, it's McCoy Luno, Mason Hildebrand, Nolan Lotzer, Chase Otradovic, Brady Schwalbach, Dylan Lotzer, Aiden Moss, Evan Durant, and Maxwell Hippis. On the mound for the Cougars, it's Drew Furman, and backing him up in the outfield from left to right. In left, it's Lucas Wong. Center field, Schaefer Peterson. And right field, Brady Merzlicker. In the infield, Ryan Hoffman, Brennan Hain, Harper West, and Wesley Knackers. And behind the dish is Brady Ukis. We are just about set for bottom of the first action here. Again, Drew Furman on the mound, and his first victim will be McCoy Luno. So we'll see the Cougars defense and the Angels offense for the first time tonight. And the first pitch from Furman just outside for ball 1. Second pitch on the way. This one sent opposite ground out there in shallow left field. Sneaks past the mitt of Ryan Halfman. And on board first base, well, the leadoff single is trickling up, kind of sneaking up there to second, is the leadoff hitter of McCoy Luno, and it's a leadoff base hit for Luno. Perfect way to start here for the Angels. A phenomenal inning to start on the defense. 3 up, 3 down. Then McCoy Luno gets the offense going with a leadoff single. Now it's Mason Hildebrand in for the Angels as he looks at a ball number 1 outside the zone. Luno, one of those guys who just can provide anything, whether it's the offense or the defense for Kaukauna. And there he's just trying to set the tone early here against the Cougars. Second pitch outside, but just a little more in than the previous pitch for strike 1. A 1-1 even count to Mason Hildebrand with McCoy Luno aboard first. As Furman checks over on Luno in their standing. And still a 1-1 count to Mason Hildebrand. Furman checks the shoulders, sets on the mound. Here's the 1-1. Missing for ball 2. 2-1 count now to the shortstop, Mason Hildebrand. So he's trying to get around his leadoff hitter of McCoy Luno running the base paths. Here's the 2-1. Outside and up for ball 3. 3-1 count to Mason Hildebrand. Can he get aboard here with no outs in the bottom of the first? Pitch on the way from Furman. This one swung at strike number 2. Now the first full count of the evening here in this contest tonight. It's Drew Furman and Mason Hildebrand with no outs in the bottom of the first. Full count pitch. Luno goes, and it's sent to shallow right field. A base hit, and rounding second base on the way to third is McCoy Luno. And the throw into third base not in time, so now runners at the corners with no outs in the inning and a no-out single for Mason Hildebrand. And Luno was booking it to second, trying to steal a bag with the full count on Mason Hildebrand, and ends up on third base now with no outs. And it'll bring in Nolan Lotzer, left fielder, as he looks at an outside strike number 1. But the perfect start here for the Angels offense. They have 2 aboard, no outs in the inning, 1 in scoring position of McCoy Luno. And now it's Nolan Lotzer on the way, stealing to second base as Mason Hildebrand, as he'll have to go back, fouled back for strike 2. So he'll jog back to first base with runners at the corners. And a 0-2 count on Nolan Lotzer. Drew Furman checks the shoulder. Here's the pitch. This one check swing, but in the dirt for ball one. So now 1-2 count to Lotzer with Mason Hildebrand at first. Luno at third base in scoring position, trying to get the game's first run. Here's the 1-2. Again, runner goes of Hildebrand at first. It's a high pop-up in the infield, and the second baseman, Harper West, can't make the play. And he's just going to chuck it down to second. Meanwhile, coming in to score is McCoy Luno. So they get the lead runner of Mason Hildebrand trying to get second, and they get out Nolan Lotzer now aboard first base with technically an RBI single scoring McCoy Luno. And Kaukauna on the board first here. So now Chase Otradovic will try to add on already this 1-0 lead for the Angels. So again, Nolan Lotzer over at first. Here's a hot shot right up the gut, a base hit. And on to second base now, Nolan Lotzer. Chase Otradovic aboard with a one-out single. And now the Angels have two aboard already with a 1-0 lead here in the bottom of the first. I believe the one to Nolan Lotzer would go down as a fielder's choice technically, not a single, because they got Mason Hildebrand at second, ended up scoring McCoy Luno. And now it's Brady Schwalbach with an 0-1 count here against Drew Furman with two aboard, and there's a nice pitch right down the gut for strike two. Trying to get out of it is Drew Furman. He's in a first inning jam here already to start it from Bay, Oregon. 0-2 pitch. It's one well outside for ball one. 1-2 to Brady Schwalbach. Schwalbach, 364 batting average with runners in scoring position. Here's a wild pitch that gets past the catcher, Yukis. So now two stolen bases, so now two in scoring position of Nolan Lotzer and Chase Otradovic. The game's first stolen bags. Lotzer got aboard the fielder's choice. Here's the 2-2. So an outside for ball three. Full count here with two aboard. Schwalbach and Furman. Full count pitch from Furman. This one, again, a high pop-up that looks to be staying in play. The catcher, Brady Yukis, chasing after it and is going to go out of play, or in play, excuse me, right by the fencing. And the count will stay at 3-2. It looked like Yukis was looking over the fence, so thought it escaped the ballpark here at Bay, Oregon. But the count will stay at 3-2 with an out in the inning. Furman looking to get out number two. Full count pitch to Schwalbach. This one in there for strike number three, a backwards K. And the first strikeout for Drew Furman comes at a big time for the inning's second out.
Now waiting the catcher, number three, Dylan Lotzer.
So now Dylan Lotzer will step in with two outs in the inning. And still those two runners at scoring position of Otradovic and Lotzer. First pitch to Dylan Lotzer, Nolan's brother, in there for strike one. 0-1 to Dylan Lotzer. This one chopped, that sent out of play and foul. Right over the fans' heads here on the right side for strike number two. So good response after those early hits and that one score of McCoy Luno getting the 1-0 lead for the Angels. Drew Furman's done a nice job of adjusting on the mound. 0-2 pitch, looking to end it. This one inside, sent foul on the third base line, and the bare hand from head coach Griffin Klein over on third base. The count will stay at 0-2. Furman and the Cougars looking to get out of it with just one run given up. 0-2 pitch from Furman. This one just missed for the first ball of the at-bat. One, two from Furman. Here it is. Nice curved ball, but just upstairs for ball number 2. Dylan Lotzer, honorable mention catcher as well for the Angels in the past school year for the FVA. 2-2 from Furman. This one chopped at again, sent high in the infield, looks to stay in play. Chasing after it is the first baseman, Wesley Knackers, but not able to get to it in time. And shaking the head, heading back to the batter's box was Dylan Lotzer, and he's going to get another chance here in the bottom of the first. Again, with those 2 aboard of Nolan Lotzer and Chase Otradovic. Here's the 2-2. This one sent high out to left field. Roaming under it is Lucas Wong, and he makes the play for the final out of the inning. Not after the Angels, striking first here through 1 complete. Off the RBI fielder's choice, it scores McCoy Luno, and it's Kaukauna 1, Kimberly 0 as we're through 1 complete. Entering the top of the second, you're listening to and watching is Zaleski Sports, powered by Bear Performance.
This summer, the whole family is invited to Marshfield's home base for fun. Woodfield Inn & Suites, where great rooms come with great rates. Splash around in the indoor pool. Mom and Dad unwind in the hot tub. Let your kids take over the arcade. Book your family getaway at Woodfield Inn & Suites. The 2026 American Legion State Baseball Tournament is in Marshfield. Make Woodfield Inn & Suites your home base.
Good evening, folks. Matt LePay here. Ridgetop Exteriors is kicking off your roof replacement like pros. Old shingles off, decking down, ice and water guard set. Textbook protection. Underlayment follows. Sealed tight like an O-line. Valleys flashed. Shingles installed row by row. Captain ventilated. The crew scoops every nail, leaving no yard marker behind. This project's wrapped. Your turn to call the play at ridgetopexteriors.com.
Welcome you back to Bay Oregon Field here in Kaukauna, Wisconsin. We're getting set for the top of the second as we're through 1 complete. And previously in the top of the first, it was a 3-up, 3-down inning for the Angels defense. Hippus found an early groove. He took 2 himself with a backwards K of Brennan Hain, the forwards K of Wesley Knackers, and it was a ground out to the third baseman Aiden Moss for the final out of the inning. So now it'll be Schaefer Peterson up for the Cougars to start the second. Glad to have you along here from Kaukauna, Wisconsin. I'm Miles Detroit alongside our public address announcer and scoreboard operator, Jeremy Hendricks. It's a great day for baseball, and as I said this past Tuesday, already quickly approaching regionals at the end of July, the state tournament right around the corner, right after regionals. We'll see what Schaefer Peterson can do to start it here in the second. It's going to be tough to stop the nice groove we saw of Maxwell Hippus on the mound in the first inning. First pitch of the second is fouled away over on the third base side. Over the vehicles in the parking lot, takes a big bounce. Vehicle's awfully close to this field, and I'm going to call it if there's, I hope not to call, knock on wood, but my car is parked out in center field. I'm hoping there's not a home run out there. 0-1 on the way. Here's a hot shot out to right field. Chasing way back on it is Brady Schwalbach, and able to track it down for the first out of the inning. So it's 4 straight retired here to start it for the Angels defense. 2 strikeouts, a ground out, and a pop out. Now we'll bring in the 5-hole hitter of Ryan Halfman, third baseman tonight. Trying to get the Cougars' first hit in this one. Halfman, a first-team catcher in the FVA. Here's a hot shot to the second baseman, Evan Durant. Fields it cleanly, sends it to Chase Otradovic for the second out. So now 2 to the ground out, as now there's 5 straight retired for the Angels.
And a happy birthday to number 2, Drew Furman.
It is Drew Furman's birthday. His mom went to the concession stands here. I wanted to give him a shout-out for his son here on a Thursday night. So happy birthday, Drew Furman. Pitcher tonight, taking on the pitcher of Maxwell Hippus. And Furman's got a 1-0 count here on Hippus. Here's a high pop-up. Looks to be staying in play in the infield. Working under it is the first baseman, Otradovic. Makes the play for another 3-up, 3-down inning, and 6 retired to start it for the Angels defense as they lead 1-0 as we enter the bottom of the second. You're listening to and watching Zaleski Sports, powered by Amplitel Technologies.
Hey, this is Brian Butch, former college and professional basketball player, here with a message from Abbey Bank. Safeguard your personal information and join us for Abbey Bank's free shred day on Wednesday, August 5th from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. at any Abbey Bank location. Shred your confidential documents for free, and while you're there, help make a difference. Bring a non-perishable food or hygiene item to support your local food pantry. For full details, head to abbeybank.com. Abbey Bank, where they make banking about you. This is sponsored by Abbey Bank, member FDIC.
Is your business, church, or organization getting a fair deal on your copier contracts? Do you even know how much you're spending? Bauer & Fine Business Technologies has been in the office technology industry for 70 years. We have an award-winning service department, and customers love our fair and flexible service contracts. If you're currently a customer, thank you. If you currently work with one of our competitors, let's talk. We can tell you if you're overpaying or getting a good deal. BBT, we want to be the easiest vendor you work with. b-bt.com.
Travel Leaders Discovery specializes in creating personalized, unforgettable, and stress-free travel experiences for individuals, families, and groups of all sizes. Travel Leaders Discovery is a full-service agency booking beach vacations, cruises, hotel-only, and air hotel, Disney, house rentals, business travel, romantic travel, and family vacations anywhere you want to go. Call Travel Leaders Discovery at 833-TL-TRIPS and visit www.tltrips.com. It'll be Aiden Moss to start the bottom of the second here for the Angels. First pitch on the way from the birthday boy Furman, and it's drilled out to left field, but foul. We're there to what looks to be a bullpen. Looks to be turf over there on the left side. Just over 300 out there on the left field. Fencing. A 1 pitch. Well outside for ball 1. Even count of 1-1 to start the bottom of the second, and off the fielder's choice, McCoy Luno got around all 4 bases to score the game's first run back in the first. And the Angels look to do something similar in this inning here in the second. 2-1 count now to Moss. Third baseman for the Angels tonight on the defense. He faces Drew Furman on the rubber. 2-1. This one catches the zone nicely for strike 2. Again, Drew Furman's birthday tonight, hoping he can get him and his team a birthday win, the Kimberly Cougars, here tonight. 2-2 pitch. This one drilled off the third base. A backhand nice play for the third baseman, Halfman. Sends it over to the first baseman, Wesley Hackers, for out number 1 here in the bottom of the second. Pretty long at bat to start the inning, but it comes with a 5-3 for the first out. And Evan Durant, nicknamed Ed, here for the Angels, will step in at the 8-hole. First pitch from Furman. In there for strike 1. So what we've seen from Drew Furman is kind of a rockier start to start the game for him, but really has settled in nicely at a looking strikeout on Brady Schwalbach. As here's one sent to dribbler to the first baseman, Hackers. Flips it over to Drew Furman for out number 2. As I say that, Furman makes the play himself with the help of Wesley Hackers. And it'll be 3-1 for the second out. So now completely through the lineup, it's the last hitter of Maxwell Hippus. Pitcher v. pitcher. And here's the first pitch from Furman. Right down Main Street for strike 1. But Furman and the Cougars defense have really settled in nicely after kind of the mess of the first 4 hitters for the Angels. And here's the 0-1. Low in the dirt for ball 1. Evens up at 1 apiece. 1-1 Upstairs, but chopped at by Maxwell Hippis for strike number 2. And the Cougars are a strike away from ending the second. And Drew Furman looks to do it here. 1-2 pitch. Right down the middle, swung at by Hippis for strike number 3 to end the bottom of the second. 3 up, 3 down, 2 of the ground out, 1 the strikeout as we are through 2 complete. It's 1-0 Kaukauna, and you are listening to and watching Zaleski Sports, powered by Bear Performance Marketing.
Good day. My name is Ken Hyman, and welcome to Nasonville Dairy here in central Wisconsin, Marshfield, Wisconsin, as a matter of fact. We make a lot of different cheeses. We make cheddar, Colby, Monterey, Farmer's Cheese, Peach Cheese, Quesa Blanca, Quesa de Freer, Seco, Parm, Romano, Asiago, Fontina, Feta Caseri, Caflateri, Cafla Graviera, 20 different flavors of Monterey, as well as making Edam, Gouda, and Munster. And the cheese be with you.
Need a game plan that delivers marketing victories? Bear Performance Marketing is your full-service partner for strategic success. From brand development to social media marketing and promotional solutions, we streamline your marketing for maximum results. Learn more at BAERPM.com. We welcome you back to Bay Oregon Field at Kaukauna, Wisconsin. Beautiful night for baseball as we approach the weekend, 1 week after the 4th of July. And I've been told by a few people once the 4th of July is over, the rest of summer goes by fairly quick. The school year is right around the corner for these student athletes who you see on the field. Should be what's already been a really good game so far today. It's been a little bit of both the offense and the defense, and due to some good base running and early hits for the Angels, they lead 1-0 as we enter the third here on Zaleski Sports. Leading it off for the Cougars, it'll be number 36, Lucas Wong, left fielder for tonight for Kimberly. He's at the 7-hole spot after the 6 straight have been retired. This Angels defense has been great. It's been kind of overlooked, and here's a shot right back to the pitcher, Maxwell Hippis, and now 7 put away here by Kaukauna. A theme I completely forgot about is the Cougars still seek their first base runner and hit here tonight. Now through 7 hitters complete, it'll be the 8-hole hitter Brady Ukis. Going to try to get the Cougars on the base paths. Here's the first pitch from Hippis. Well behind it was Ukis for strike number 1. Hippis after that, I believe the performance last week Wednesday, a little rocky outing for him. Kaukauna ended up losing to New London 9-0 back last week, Wednesday, July 1st. Here's the 1-1. Another ball for the second one of the at-bat. With 1 out in the inning after the ground out to Hippis from Lucas Wong. It's Brady Ukis and Maxwell Hippis, and they're reaching for it was Ukis for strike number 2, and now an even count with 1 out here in the third. Hippis just finding a groove out there. Here's the 2-2. Curveball, why not? But upstairs for ball 3. First full count of the third inning. Ukis looking to get the first hit for the Cougars. Full count from Hippis. This one a high pop out to shallow right field. Roaming under it is the right fielder Schwalbach for the inning's second out. So now 8 retired for the Angels defense. The Cougars trying to get something going here already to the third. And it's going to be Harper West going to try to do it at the 9-hole spot. As one batter away from completely going through the lineup is the Angels defense as West looks at strike number 1. They're reaching for that one and wanted it back was West for strike 2. And Hippis is 1 strike away from yet another 3-up, 3-down inning for the third time this inning. Here's the pitch. And it's in there, swinging strike number 3. And the third 3-up, 3-down inning this game here tonight And it's the Angels defense keeping them up 1-0 as we enter the bottom of the third. You're listening to and watching Zaleski Sports, powered by Legion Baseball.
However and wherever you want to travel the world, Travel Leaders Discovery can help you get there. Beach vacations, family trips, cruises, romantic getaways, Disney vacations, U.S. travel and business travel. Travel Leaders Discovery, proudly helping families, couples, and businesses explore the world through all-inclusive trips of all kinds. Call them today in Green Bay, Appleton, and Sheboygan to create your memories for a lifetime.
Mega Custom Apparel, your local source for quality, custom decorated clothing and products. Discover a wide range of products from corporate casual wear to team uniforms, promotional items, sporting goods, and awards. Don't settle for less. With our in-house production, we will make your name or event stand out with custom sports jerseys, branded cooler bags, and personalized can coolers. Celebrate team success with custom awards and promotional items. At Mega Custom Apparel, we put your brand first. Explore your options today at MedaCustom.com.
Looking for a place where everyone feels at home? Welcome to Point Brewery, your family-friendly tap room with something for everyone. From a wide variety of local brews to classic Point sodas for the kids, we've got the perfect pour for everyone. Craving a bite? We've got hot, cheesy Portesi pizzas ready when you are. Whether you're hanging out inside or soaking up the sun in our outdoor beer garden, there's space to unwind. Planning a celebration? Reserve our private event room and make it a gathering to remember. Point Brewery, good times, great taste, all on tap.
Marshfield is hosting the AAA State Legion Baseball Tournament from Tuesday, July 28th through Saturday, August 1st. Post 54 Legion welcomes 8 teams to compete for the state championship. Visit Hackman Field in Marshfield and enjoy delicious concessions, a chance to win exciting raffle prizes, and most importantly, some outstanding baseball. Again, July 28th through August 1st at Hackman Field in Marshfield. We welcome you back to Bay Oregon Field. Here from Kaukauna, Wisconsin, it has been the Angels' defense. A big theme in this one. They've retired 9 straight to start this one here today as they keep the Cougars shut out as we enter the 4th. It's going to be back to the top of the order with Brennan Hain, who he was the first out of the ball game with a backwards strikeout. Looking strikeout, a backwards K. We'll see what he has in store here to start the 4th. First pitch of the inning on the way from Hippis. This one sent back foul for strike 1. And we want to thank our game day sponsor of Travel Leaders Discovery, Ampletel Technologies, and Bear Performance Marketing. Thank you for supporting Zaleski Sports as there's a ball 1 outside, even up count. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Inside, caught the zone in the frame for strike 2. And Hippis is a strike away from retiring 10 straight here for the Cougars. 1-2 from Hippis. And swinging strike number 3. And 10 retired now for the Angels defense. And Hippis has got a no-hitter going here in the 4th.
Ready, number 40, Wesley Neckers.
So Hain with 2 strikeouts on his debut. Cougars still looking for the hit. And now we'll step in Wesley Knackers. So there's a pitch outside for ball 1. 1-0 from Hippis. This one chopped that, sent out to center field. Roaming in under it is the center fielder Luno. He makes the play for the second out. 11 straight. And still the no-hitter in a play here in the 4th. For Maxwell Hippis. He's got a little ways to go yet, but certainly on the radar, and we'll keep an eye on it. So now it's Brady Merzlicher, 3-hole hitter for the Cougars. Going to try to get on the base paths. We see no Kimberly member do it. As he looks at strike number 1. So here's a shot to the third baseman, Aiden Moss. He fields it, sends it over to Otradovic for the final out of the inning. Through the complete lineup and 3 more, the Angels keep the Cougars scoreless, and Maxwell Hippis has got a no-hitter going through 4 innings. And we'll send it to the bottom of the 4th here from Bay Oregon Field. You are listening to and watching Zaleski Sports, powered by Legion Baseball.
Help us create iron castings the world uses and trusts. At Wapaka Foundry, you're not just making parts. It's the pride in what you do, the quality of people beside you, and the career you create. What we make matters. Who makes them matters more. Join us. Cast your future at Wapaka Foundry. Visit jobs.wapakafoundry.com. Go Comets!
Want to save even more at Fleet Farm? Sign up for Fleet Rewards for exclusive offers and deals. Earn points every time you shop. 500 points gets you a $5 reward. It's free and easy to sign up, in-store or online. Plus, earn rewards even faster with the Fleet Rewards credit card. Get 4 times the points every time you use your Fleet Rewards credit card. Start shopping and start saving even more with Fleet Rewards at Fleet Farm.
Welcome back to Bay Oregon Field. Here we're getting set for the bottom of the fourth. As it's now Aiden Moss in as I try to gather myself here to start the inning. This one chopped back, sent foul. Strike one. So Aiden Moss to start the fourth inning, and I want to apologize. Bottom of the third, I had no audio. I forgot to fix my slider on the mixer, so you weren't able to hear any audio, but the Angels were able to add one more as I try to recap that one through this inning. So there's strike number 2 and a 1-2 count now to Aiden Moss. But let's see, bottom of the third, an inning ago. Started off hot with a single from Luno, a single from Hildebrand, ended up stealing a bag. Chase Otradovic got the RBI single to score McCoy Luno. And that is how they got their second base runner. And it was a shot out to center field as there's the strikeout to start the inning from Furman on Aiden Moss. And there's one out now in the inning. I gotta apologize. A solo show here. I gotta make sure everything's working correctly and just forgot to fix that slider going into the inning. So deeply apologize. But now, moving on, Evan Durant now will be in for the Angels. As he looks at an outside ball, number 1. So strikeout to start the inning on Aiden Moss. Now it's a 1-0 count to Evan Durant. Nicknamed Ed for the Angels. It's been a nice summer ball piece for Kaukauna, the school year Division I state champions, who have had some deep history with this Kimberly team in the school year. FVA rivals. Faced off 3 times in the season last year. Kaukauna, that was one of the obstacles in their way of a state championship in the sectional semi at Sunset Park. The second time they played them that season at Kimberly's home field. Now it's a 2-2 count to Evan Durant, second baseman. 0 for 1 on the day with a ground out to the first baseman. So there he looks at ball number 3, and we got a full count here in the bottom of the fourth. Here's the full count to Evan. And he's low and below the frame. And with one out, he's aboard first with a 1-out walk. Anyway on, and Durant is the first base runner here in the bottom of the fourth. And now it'll be Maxwell Hippis at the 9-hole spot. 0 for 1 as well, and had a strikeout swinging back in the second for the final out of the inning. First pitch, this one fouled back for strike 1. But the big theme in this one has been the Angels' defense. It has been 12 straight retired, mostly from Hippis. There have been plenty of strikeouts. 1, 2, 3, 4 strikeouts, if I'm counting correctly, on the night for Hippis through those 12. But now that I say that, it's been the defense that has contributed to the so far no-hitter for Hippis. 0-2 from Furman. This one low and away for the first ball. 1-2 count now with 1 out to Maxwell Hippis. Furman checks the shoulder, and Hippis is going to step out of the box. There checks over on the base runner, Evan Durant, and they're standing. Then the ball gets past Again, if you missed it, I don't know if I mentioned it while I had the muted mic in the bottom of the third. I don't believe I did, but Drew Furman's birthday today on the mound, trying to get his team a win and celebrate after this one. 1-2 pitch. Got it. Strikeout there for Drew Furman. And 2 strikeouts, 1 swinging, 1 looking. And that one looking for the second out of the inning. And now we'll bring it back to the top of the order with McCoy Luno, who has been the man scoring both these runs for the Angels. And he got aboard both times with the single to start the first and the third. And it ended up scoring with the top of the order of Hildebrand, Nolan Lotzer, and Chase Otradovic. First pitch in there for strike 1. But just the perfect way to set the tone. You lead off the inning and end up scoring around. You're the only scorer for the Angels. With those top 4 hitters have been really nicely. Here's a ground ball to second baseman Harper West. Fields it cleanly, sends it over to the first baseman Knackers for the final out of the inning. So the Angels cannot add on more to their already 2-0 lead as we are through 4 complete here on Zaleski Sports, powered by Legion Baseball.
The quality materials that was used when the house was built were below builder grade. I wanted to do something a little exciting, add a little bit of color, a little bit of texture. The Infinity team took time to get to know us. He wanted to know what we wanted. Once he saw my design, he says, well, let's make this happen. It's a big project. Just changed the whole look of the house, and it looks like a brand new home. The Infinity team treated us like we were their family. I would recommend Infinity to anybody.
From humble beginnings in 1904, the Wheatrick family has grown Grassland Dairy Products into one of the largest processors of butter in the nation. Based in Greenwood, Wisconsin, the family and its hundreds of employees continue their pursuit of providing high-quality products that can proudly be served in restaurants and homes across America.
We welcome you back to Kaukauna, Wisconsin, and we welcome you to Bay Oregon Field. Beautiful ballpark here in Kaukauna, Wisconsin. About a 50-minute drive from where I'm at, so it was nice distance. From Kiel, Wisconsin, you go through New Holstein, Chilton, and you keep going straight on Chilton to get here and take a few turns, and you're at beautiful Bay Oregon Field. And that is where we welcome you as we begin the top of the 5th as Kaukauna hangs on to a 2-0 lead. And the theme has been the Angels' defense. A no-hitter going for Maxwell Hippis. And it's been mostly been plays made by the defense. Hippis has 4 strikeouts. Let's see, there's 4 groundouts and the rest being pop-outs. Fours all around, 4 groundouts, 4 pop-outs, 4 strikeouts, and to start the inning, it's the cleanup hitter of Schaefer Peterson as he tries to get the Cougars on the board. And to start the inning, deals with a 1-1 count. Sure, the Angels have these 2 runs, but really it's been the theme of keeping the Cougars off the board. A slim lead, and now 1-1 pitch. And here's a hot shot down the first baseline, and finally the Cougars on the board. Schaefer Peterson with a leadoff single. And now the Kimberly Cougars on the hit column and have their first base runner of the game. Give credit to Hippis. Was going strong for a really long time. Through 4 complete, 4 innings pitched. No hits, no base runners, 4 strikeouts, and the defense doing the rest, the other 8. But Schaefer Peterson to lead off the 5th gets aboard, and the no-hitter no longer into effect. Showing bunt, but I believe he got hit. Yeah, he got hit on the hands was Ryan Halfman. And now he's aboard first, so after 12 retired for the Angels defense, they now have 2 aboard to start the 5th. So now it's Drew Furman, the birthday boy, trying to get the Cougars on the board. Shows bunt, pulls back, but in the frame for strike number 1. So we'll see how Hippus adjusts after giving up these 2 base runners, after not giving up a single hit through those 4 complete innings. So there's a swinging strike number 2, and he's doing a good job responding. Now an 0-2 count on the other pitcher of Drew Furman. Here's the pitch. Low for ball 1. You can kind of see now, especially with Drew Furman, Maxwell Hippus trying to pick up some pace on the mound, get back to what he was going. I mean, he was just grooving through those 4 innings. But now a little setback here in the 5th. 1-2 from Hippus. Fastball sent to the shortstop who fields it, flips it over to Durant, and over to first base, but not in time. Shoves off the first baseman Otradovic. So fielder's choice gets Drew Furman aboard first. They get Ryan Halfman out at second, and meanwhile Peterson now over to third. In scoring position, a base away from getting the Cougars on the board. And it's going to be Lucas Wong, left fielder, led off the 3rd inning with a ground out to Hippus. With 1 out in the inning, we'll see what he can do. Get the Cougars on the board or not. Hippus' first pitch, missing for ball 1. So finally, after 4 innings, Cougars in this inning able to get their first hit thanks to Schaefer Peterson with the leadoff single, who now stands aboard third base, looking to get Kimberly on the board. As Wong looks at ball number 2, low and away. But truly, it was that theme of the Angels' defense and Hippus' defense, as well as him with those 4 strikeouts, keeping the Cougars off the board for half this game. Here's a shot out to left field, and not able, making the play right past the mid of Nolan Lotzer, is going to score 1. And rounding third base in is Drew Furman, and it's an RBI double for Lucas Wong, and the Kimberly Cougars on the board here in the 5th. So Angels and head coach Griffin Klein going to meet out at the pitcher's mound. Kind of recover here after a 5th inning that has not summed up these 4 for the Angels defense. As I keep saying, they have the no-hitter going. Hippus and his defense were going strong for a majority of this one, and the leadoff single from Peterson knocked that wish out of the park. Looks like Hippus is going to stay on the mound. The RBI double from Lucas Wong gets Kimberly on the board. And now 2 runners in scoring position. Drew Furman at third and Wong at second. We'll bring in Brady Yukis. A 1 count as the strike moments ago. Second pitch from Hippus. Low for ball number 1. And 1's across the board with a 1-1 count and 1 out here in the 5th. See after the mound visit how Hippus can adjust. Trying to find that pace he was getting to as a dribbler here to the shortstop, playing in short. He rifles it over to home base, home plate, and the catcher, Dylan Lotzer, honorable mention, applies the tag on Drew Furman for the inning's 2nd out.
Now hitting 42, Harper West.
Now it's Harper West in. And courtesy running, let's see, for the Cougars, number 26, Jack DeLue, on first base now. And kept that base runner of Lucas Wong over at second with the play at home plate. Here's a shot out to left field into the glove of Nolan Lotzer for the final out of the inning. But after All the action, Kimberly getting one on the board through the RBI double from Lucas Wong, scoring Schaefer Peterson. After not having a single hit entering the fifth, Kimberly on the board, and they trail by one as we enter the bottom of the fifth. You're listening to and watching Zaleski Sports, powered by Amplitel Technologies.
Welcome to the competition where only the best healthcare plans rise to the top. Megasure.
Presenting Paperwork Pound Cake. A half-baked plan with flaky service sprinkled on top.
Ooh. Next up, Security Health Plan.
I call this one the Sweet Security. It has high quality coverage folded in, and it's frosted with award-winning local service that's sweet but never sugar-coated.
That's a slice of better.
Chef Security, congratulations. Truly the recipe for better.
We'll quickly welcome you back to Bay Oregon Field here in Kaukauna, Wisconsin. The Kaukauna Angels lead the Kimberly Cougars 2-1 here on the Fox Valley Technical College scoreboard. Like I said, before going to add there, it's the Angels' defense has been the biggest storyline, keeping the Cougars shut out till the fifth there, as you saw. The score, the RBI double from Lucas Wong, the 7-hole hitter, scoring Schaefer Peterson, who got the Cougars on the hit column. And now for the Angels, it'll be number 2, Mason Hildebrand. And it's been this top of the order getting the damage done for the Angels as we are to the bottom of the fifth. It's been McCoy Luno starting the first and the third, and it's been Hildebrand, Lotzer, and Otradovic getting him home and scoring the 2 runs here for the Angels. As he looks at the innings, first pitch, ball number 1. Here's the 1-0 from Furman. This one a hot shot out to shallow right center field. A leadoff base hit for Mason Hildebrand. And he's aboard first here to start the bottom of the fifth. So it's been slim leads all along here, and hoping to open things up, Mason Hildebrand gets aboard with a leadoff single. And Nolan Lotzer, 3 of the 4 who have done the dues here in this one for the Angels in the lineup. So he looks at the first ball of the at-bat. It's been mostly singles for these 4. Besides Lotzer at the plate, he got aboard a fielder's choice and had a pop out as here on the way to second base is Mason Hildebrand, but chucked down not in time, and he's in with a stolen base here in the fifth. Meanwhile, had the second ball of the at-bat to Nolan Lotzer. So now he has Mason Hildebrand in scoring position. Here's the 2-0. In the dirt for ball 3. I believe the first 3-0 we have here tonight shows that Furman and Hippus have really attacked the zone all night long. 3-0. Curveball, changing it up in there for strike 1. Trying something different. Drew Furman, the birthday boy, buys a strike. 3-1. This one, a dribbler to ground ball to the shortstop, Brennan Hain. Fields it, sends it to the first baseman, Hackers, but off the bag, gets past him. It's going to go down as an E6. It's going to score. Mason Hildebrand, and rounding second base is Nolan Lotzer. And he is aboard with the E6 on the shortstop, Hain. And now it's going to be Chase Otradovic to try to add on to this lead. No outs still in the inning. First pitch, foul for strike 1. Otradovic, I said, another single member at the 4-hole spot, 2 for 2 on the day, with singles in the first and the third. And including that RBI to score the second run back in the third, as here's one fouled off, and it's going to go out of play for strike 2. So a 3-1 lead now for the Angels, adding one more. And it was Hildebrand scoring off the air from Brennan Hain. Here's the 0-2. This one swung at, strikeout for Drew Furman, his first of the inning. And his 6th strikeout today on Chase. This one on Chase Otradovic, 6 total on the evening for the first out of the inning. Now it's Brady Schwalbach, still with Nolan Lotzer aboard second. There's a ground ball up the gut, fielded a little roughly by Harper West. Throw to first base, not in time. Beating the throw was Brady Schwalbach, and now runners at the corners for the Angels. Oh, it was 19. Okay. Thank you, Jeremy. So it was 19. Good call. Noah Ziemba. So that was aboard first. Good call. I didn't even notice. Yeah. Number 19. So not Schwalbach. So it's Ziemba. He's going to step in as a pinch hitter for Schwalbach. And now, so this is Lotzer. Dylan Lotzer. Number 3. Yep. So he sends one foul to the third base side. Now an 0-2 count is try to gather myself here. So Noah Ziemba was for Brady Schwalbach. And who made the throw? Was it Hain back to get Ziemba on first base? I can't remember. It was a ground out as Ziemba over. Now it's a second. Stolen. It was fouled off. Was it? It was. He's scurrying back to second. Trying to get things set here. So now runners at second and third, 1 out, and a 1-2 count to Dylan Lotzer. Here's one mooned out to shallow right field. Diving play. Did he make the catch? He did. Scurrying back to third base. Did they get the double? Not in time. It gets past the third baseman Halfman into score. Let's see. Nolan Lotzer and Kaukauna adds on. It's now 4-1. A diving play out there for Merzlicker. But ends up, in a way, technically being a sac fly and scoring his brother Nolan Lotzer, who got aboard second with the air, now scores. And now on third base is Noah Ziemba. And now will step in Aiden Moss. 17, okay. Good call. What would I do without you, Jeremy? 17, you said? Carson Gates is going to step in. Pinch hitter. Yep, it is. Number 17, you said? Yep. Carson Gates is going to be in for Aiden Moss. Now deals with a 2-0 count. As both Jeremy and I try to catch up to this, all the action. They're inside for ball 3. Hitters count here in the bottom of the 5th. Kaukauna has added on to their lead by 2 runs here in the bottom of the 5th. Drew Furman trying to play with some pace. 3-0. Swinging in the dirt for strike number 1. Decision to pull the trigger. Carson Gates wanted it, but likely would have been a ball if he decided to hold back. 3-1 on the way. This one in there for strike number 2. Good response from Furman, and he's got a full count now with 2 outs, looking to end the inning on Carson Gates. As Furman's going to step off the rubber. Loaded scoreboard, full count, looking to end the inning. Pitch from Furman, inside in the hands, and a knuckler to the shortstop Brennan Hain, who makes the play for the final out of the inning. But not after. The Angels going to add on 2 more insurance runs, and they lead by 3 as we enter the top of the 6th. Through 5 complete. Kaukauna 4, Kimberly 1. You are listening to and watching Zaleski Sports, powered by Bear Performance Marketing.
Welcome to the competition where only the best healthcare plans rise to the top. Megasure.
Presenting Paperwork Pound Cake, a half-baked plan with flaky service sprinkled on top.
Ooh. Next up, Security Health Plan.
I call this one the Sweet Security. It has high-quality coverage folded in, and it's frosted with award-winning local service that's sweet but never sugar-coated.
That's a slice of better.
Chef Security, congratulations. Truly the recipe for better.
Need a game plan that delivers marketing victories? Bear Performance Marketing is your full-service partner for strategic success. offering comprehensive solutions that include brand development, social media marketing, branded products, and digital marketing. The goal is to streamline every aspect of marketing while maximizing results. With a focus on clear, transparent communication and a driven team ready to hustle, Bear Performance Marketing is your partner for marketing that outperforms the competition. Learn more at bearpm.com.
We welcome you back. We're through 5 complete, and you are listening to watching Zaleski Sports. We're getting set for the top of the 6th. Moments ago in that previous inning, Kaukauna adding on to their now 4-1 lead. There was 2-1 entering the inning. With good base hitting, good base running, the Angels now have a 3-run advantage. And to start the inning with some substitutions for the Angels defense, it will be Harper West. No, number 35. Do we have someone new again? Brennan Hain, top of the order. Okay. So it's to the top with Brennan Hain to lead off the 6th. This is swinging strike number 1 to start the inning. 0-1 to Hain. This one shot out of play. Fouled off for strike 2. Again, there's been so much happening, but shout out to Cheesehead saying go Kimberly Cougars. I saw you comment earlier, just haven't gotten to get around to it, but thank you for watching. Cheering on the Cougars here as they are trailed by 3. Here's one sent to opposite ground, but foul on the left side, and the count stays at 0-2. For the leadoff hitter, Brennan Hain, he's led off the 1st and 4th, and both had strikeouts, one looking in the 1st and swinging in the 4th. Get only those 2 hits. 2 hits, I believe. I'm checking Jeremy's scoreboard. Is that what you have? 2 hits, the double and the single for the Cougars as they're a swinging strikeout. Good way to start the inning for Hippis as he retires. Brennan Hain, 3rd time striking out for the shortstop for the first out here in the 6th. So now it's Wesley Knackers. Making sure, yep, number 40 in there. We've had some now courtesy hitters last inning for the Angels, so we're going to check, make sure the Cougars are all good. Knackers 0 for 2 on the day as well as many others for the Cougars. As here sends one a liner out to shallow right, and it stays in play. Fair ball, and he's got a 1-out single here in the 6th. Good piece of hitting and found a nice spot out there in shallow right for a 1-out single here in the top of the 6th. And I believe that will go down as the 3rd hit for the Cougars just tonight. Through their lineup twice here as we're through 5 complete. Now it'll be Brady Merzlicker, right fielder, with Wesley Knackers aboard first base. Again, those substitutions, Noah Ziemba is quickly checking on Wesley Knackers, Maxwell Hippis, but Knackers is in standing. So Noah Ziemba is going to be out in right field for Brady Schwalbach, and Carson Gates in for Aiden Moss at third base. Here's a high pop-up in the infield. Chasing under it is the honorable mention catcher Dylan Lotzer, who makes the play for out number 2. Keeps Knackers over at first base. Now the strikeout on Brennan Hain for the first out. The pop-out to Dylan Lotzer for the second out. We'll bring in Schaefer Peterson, who got the Cougars on the board back in the 5th. And now steps in here in the 6th with that first hit back in the previous inning. He had the single and ended up scoring their only run to this point. As he looks at a first pitch fastball strike, number 1. Oh, 1. Hippis checks, delivers. Low, below the frame. And low for ball number 1. Evens up the count. And with these 2 outs here in the top of the 6th. Angels hanging on to a 3-run lead to this point. But Cougars trying to pick up some momentum. This one well outside. I believe it was Hippis pointing at his eyes to Dylan Lotzer. I don't know, maybe some miscommunication there, but regardless, second ball to Schaefer Peterson. Two one. This one, a liner up the middle, right to the mitt of Hippus. He fires it over to the shortstop, Mason Hildebrand, for the final out of the inning. They get the lead runner of Wesley Knackers at second and keeps the score where it's at with a 3-run advantage as we enter the bottom of the sixth. Kaukauna leading the Cougars, and the Cougars with one last attempt after the inning. If the Angels escape with this one here tonight, we'll send it to the bottom of the sixth when we come back.
Cobuson Bus is hiring. It's drivers that they need. Cobuson Bus is hiring. It's the perfect job for me.
Cobuson Buses would like to thank all of our school bus drivers throughout the state of Wisconsin for their safe driving. If you would like to make a difference in your community with a fun and rewarding part-time job, apply at cobuson.com.
Cobuson Bus is hiring. It's the perfect job for me.
Amplitel Technologies boosts IT and technology for businesses in Northeast Wisconsin and beyond. From help desk support to Wi-Fi and phone solutions, trust the experts at Amplitel. Visit ampliteltech.com for a free consultation. Again, thank you to our game day sponsors for tonight's American Legion baseball game, Travel Leaders Discovery, Amplitel Technologies, and Bear Performance Marketing. Coming up soon, as we're already to the closing of this one, the Nasonville Dairy postgame show. Stay tuned for that. As now at the bottom of the sixth, Kaukauna looks to add on some insurance before the last opportunity for the Angels, or for the Cougars. And leading it off, it'll be for the Angels, number 5, Jack Hawk. Thank you, J-Dog. This is swinging strike number 1, and they're the outside catching it for a strike 2. So Hawk in for... Let's see. Durant. Here's a dribbler that goes shallow in the infield. Coming it on is the third baseman, Ryan Halfman, but not in time. Able to beat the throw out was Hawk. Now he's aboard first with a leadoff single. Able to beat the throw from the third baseman, Halfman. So he was in for Evan Durant. So now it's Jack Hawk at the 8-hole spot, in for Ed, as there's first pitch, wasting no time, sent out to left field, and back-to-back singles here to start the bottom of the sixth. The Angels on the hunt for some insurance. So round it back to the top of the order, who McCoy Luno has had an incredible game. 2 for 3 on the day, including 2 singles to lead off the first and the third. And with 1 in scoring position, 2 aboard, as they're offer well below the frame for strike number 1. Those 2 aboard, 1 in scoring position of Jack Hawk. Here's the 1 pitch again, offering well below was McCoy Luno. So now he's quickly got 2 strikes on him. He's going to have to pull back and swing the bat now. But Luno has really been a sole reason the Angels lead this one here in the sixth, 4-1. He has been, I believe, two of the 4 scores in this one for Kaukauna. 0-2. This one sent to opposite ground, shallow left field, a base hit, and head coach Griffin Klein going to hold this base runner of Jack Hawk at third. So now bases loaded for the Angels with a 4-1 score and no outs in the inning. And now previously with the single from McCoy Luno. Back-to-back-to-back singles for the Angels. So now Hawk at third, Hippus at second, Luno at first, brings in Mason Hildebrand as he looks at ball number 1 to start the at-bat. Hildebrand as well. 3 singles on the night. 2 stolen bases as well. 3 for 3. And here's another single. 4 on the night into shallow right field. It's going to score Jack Hawk. And it gets past the catcher, Brady Yukis, on the way to score is Maxwell Hippis. He's in, and it adds on 2 more for the Angels. They lead 6-1. So make that a double for Mason Hildebrand. He's got 3 singles and a double on the night. And it scores 2 big insurance runs as the Cougars are going to talk things over with the defense. As we get some happy birthday chants from Drew Furman. He shakes his head walking off, but a really solid outing. I mean, obviously the 6 runs, but kept the Angels at 2 for a while in this one. And as of recent, Kaukauna starting to open this thing up and seek win number 7 on the summer year. So Hawks scored the 5th run. Hippis scored run number 6. So Luno now stands at 3rd. Hildebrand with the 2-run RBI double stands at 2nd. And we'll see who's going to take over for Drew Furman. So they try to keep this score where it's at and give them some sort of chance as we approach the top of the 7th inning and the last chance for the Cougars if the score holds. Who do you see there, Jeremy? Who's on the mound? Number 30-something. 36. Lucas Wong. So will it be just a single switch? He was in left field. We'll see if Furman's going to go out to left, but officially it'll be Lucas Wong taking over for Drew Furman. Still no outs in the inning and 2 runners in scoring position. Kaukauna looking to add on some more damage. I'll try to quickly add up Drew Furman's numbers here. Let's see how many strikeouts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 strikeouts tonight. How many hits do you got on Kaukauna, J-Dog? I could add them up, but we could maybe rely on you. I was trusting you, man. Let's see. I'll add them up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 8, 9, 10, 11, I believe by my counting. 11 hits for the Angels. Could be maybe off, but. And you said number 11 in for the Angels now, hitting? Or that would. It would 21, okay. 21. So Nathan Hansen now going to step in for Nolan Lotzer. So a handful of subs that Griffin Klein's going to make here in the past 2 innings. So Nathan Hansen in for Nolan Lotzer at the 3-hole spot with 2 runners in scoring position. We'll see what he can do here with still, again, no outs in the inning. That one in there for strike. So a 1-1 even count here to start it for Nathan Hansen, his debut tonight. This one chopped at, sent to shallow left center. And in jogging was, who was on third? McCoy Luno was kind of jogging to home, but then turned on the Jets to score as the rifle home from, I believe, either center fielder Peterson or left fielder Wong. And now it's a 7-1 lead for Kaukauna. The 1-run RBI double. Now we'll reset the count for Chase Otradovic. Making sure that is the one. Nope, do we have someone different? 15, that's what I thought. Calvin Mum's now going to come in. So pretty much this half of this roster is going to step in for the Angels these past 2 innings. As now Mums deals with a 1-0. This one inside. I think he counted that a strike. Or maybe he's waving off a bug. I don't know. This one, plenty inside. I think it was a ball, but I'm not sure. For sure a 2-0 count, as Jeremy and I try to figure out. I think I might go just 3-0 here. 3-0 from Wong. This one a dribbler sent to the opposite ground out in shallow right, a base hit. It's going to score 1 and keep the runners where they're at. It's now runners at the corners and an RBI single from Calvin Mums, who steps into the lineup, extends the lead to 7 now for the Angels. So much damage here in this inning, and it's kind of what we saw last game on Tuesday for the Angels, where they scored 4 in their last efforts on the offense. Now Noah Ziemba will step in. And it scored Mason Hildebrand. And now Nathan Hansen aboard third base. Let's again try to just gather myself here. Been a lot of action. Again, a solo crew on Zaleski Sports. So thankful for this opportunity once again to announce some Legion baseball. First time I've been introduced to the Legion baseball sport. I haven't watched it until this summer. Obviously, I've watched plenty of school year baseball, but now it's 2-0 on Noah Ziemba. With runners at the corners. Here's one sent up the gut. The pitcher, Lucas Wong, can't make the play, but the second baseman, Harper West, able to step on 2 and rifle it over to first. Did he get the runner at first in time? He did, for a double play, but meanwhile scoring, it is Nathan Hansen, and it's now a 9-1 Kaukauna Angels lead. So 4-3 double play is unassisted for the first out. Now should be, Dylan Lotzer, the catcher, in. Faces a 1-1 count again as try to reset here. 2 outs now in the inning after the double play. Here's a high pop-up sent behind us. But again, this has really been just like we saw this past Tuesday. The 4 runs scored on the offense in the 7th. And now 5 here in the bottom of the 6th as Dylan Lotzer wears that one as he will jog his way over to first base. Dylan Lotzer, one of 4 members who have stayed in the starting 9, as head coach Griffin Klein going to change up his lineup these past 2 innings. So now we'll have 1 lone runner, and I believe we have a courtesy runner. Number 23, Carter Van Rossum, going to be in the courtesy run for the Angels on first base for Dylan Lotzer. And it's going to be the tall, lengthy Carson Gates now up to hit with 2 outs as he looks at ball number 1. Low and away, 1-0 count to Gates. Gates, that the all-conference member who was not in the lineup. First team pitcher all-conference, did not start today, but he's frequently in the lineup, of course. One of the biggest studs of this Kaukauna lineup in summer ball as Lucas Wong checks over on the courtesy runner Van Rossum. A 2-0 count with 2 outs here on Carson Gates. Here's the pitch from Wong. This one swung at for strike number 1. Fastball right down the middle for Lucas. Taking over for Drew Furman. After 5 innings pitched. And this one again, where's back-to-back hit by pitches and booking it over to second base trying to steal was the courtesy runner of Van Rossum. So now 2 aboard. I swear, every time the Angels have tried to steal, it's been either a base hit or now a hit by pitch. But now 2 aboard here, a reset count for Jack Hawk. Now at the 8-hole spot, he came in for Evan Durant back in the previous inning. And he had a single to lead off the 6th. So now we're fully through the lineup after Carson Gates. Hit by pitch. 1-0 pitch. This one a high pop-up is going to stay in play in the infield. The first baseman, Wesley Knackers, going to roam under it for the final out of the inning. But not after plenty of damage to be done for the Kaukauna Angels as they lead 9-1. They scored 4 in their previous game in the final innings, final efforts, and now 5 here today. And they lead by 8 as we enter final chance opportunity for the Kimberly Cougars. You are listening to and watching Zaleski Sports, powered by our amazing game day sponsors, Travel Leaders Discovery, Amplitel Technologies, and Bear Performance Marketing.
Cobuson Bus is hiring. It's drivers that they need. Cobuson Bus is hiring. It's the perfect job for me.
Kaukauna buses would like to thank all of our school bus drivers throughout the state of Wisconsin for their safe driving. If you would like to make a difference in your community with a fun and rewarding part-time job, apply at Kaukauna.com.
Cobuson Bus is hiring. It's the perfect job for me.
This summer, the whole family is invited to Marshfield's home base for fun. Woodfield Inn & Suites, where great rooms come with great rates. Splash around in the indoor pool. Mom and Dad unwind in the hot tub. Let your kids take over the arcade. Book your family getaway at Woodfield Inn & Suites. The 2026 American Legion State Baseball Tournament is in Marshfield. Make Woodfield Inn & Suites your home base.
We welcome you back for likely one last time here from Kaukauna, Wisconsin. If the score stays where it's at, it's 9-1 Kaukauna as we welcome you back to Bay Oregon Field. The home team leading the visitors of the Kimberly Cougars as they enter one last shot here with 3 outs to go. To start, it'll be Ryan Halfman. Maxwell Hippis trying to pitch the complete game, and they're not letting him have it. The leadoff hitter, Halfman, sends a bomb out to right center. Rounding first, he's digging for second, and a leadoff double to start it for Ryan Halfman. Not too shabby of a way to start the inning. Halfman aboard second base. Now we'll bring in to what looks to be a pinch hitter for Drew Furman of number 34, Gavin Disson. So Disson will step in for Furman. First pitch low, swinging for strike number 1. So Disson going to try to get that runner of Ryan Halfman with a leadoff double home to try to crawl into this 8-run deficit. As there he fouls one off. And Hippis seeks the first out here at the top of the 7th. Last chance opportunity in effect for the Cougars. But a good start from Halfman to lead off the inning. 0-2 from Hippis. This one sent out kind of the same spot, but a little more shallow. Making the play is the second baseman. Let's see, came in for Evan Durant. Jack Hawk, I believe. It was. Hawk making the play, tracking it down there in shallow right for the first out of the inning. Nearly was trying to ring up for the double play. Halfman got a pretty solid lead over there at second, but scurrying back quickly, of course, with the pop-out. So now it'll be Lucas Wong stepping in. He took over pitching duties, but had not a great inning after taking over for Drew Furman. And gave up those 5 runs. They were only down 3, but now down by 8. Here's a dribbler down the third base line, but let's see, what did we have first? Foul it. Oh, it came back into play. Okay. Thank you, Jeremy. There's been a lot going on. We've got to keep up. So now an 0-1 count with 1 out. Lucas Wong will step back in. Hippis sets on the rubber, delivers. Curveball inside, and it wore Lucas Wong. I believe the first hit by pitch. First hit batter for Maxwell Hippis tonight. It'll be Lucas Wong now aboard first. It'll be Brady Yukis going to try to score some of these base runners on the pond. One at first base of Lucas Wong and one at second of Ryan Halfman in scoring position. First pitch. This one skied out to left field. Chasing back on it is Nolan Lotzer. He did not make the diving play. And rounding third base on the way to score is Ryan Halfman. Cut off in and throwing from Gates. He's going to keep it in his back pocket. And an RBI single for Brady Yukis scores Ryan Halfman. And the Cougars are within 7. So Lucas Wong had the RBI single to get their first run, and now an RBI single from Brady Yukis in the 7th. Scores the second run, and now it'll be Harper West in. With runners at first and second. One out in the inning. So here's one sent pass into shallow left field. Gloving it is Nolan Lotzer, and runners are going to stay where they're at. And now bases loaded with the one-out single from Harper West in the 9-hole. So now it's Wong at third, Yukis at second, West at first. It'll be 35, Brennan Hain with one out in the inning. 4 runs would get this thing to 6 for the Cougars. Still would be trailing by 3, but just one out in the inning. Nothing this Kimberly team can't do. So they try to, again, I said in the pregame, this is matchup number 4 for these FVA rivals. First pitch, a little dribbler to the shortstop, Mason Hildebrand. Flings it over to second for one. Did get to second? I didn't see the umpire signal. Believe he was able to beat it out, beat the throw, but it meanwhile scored 1 for the Cougars. So they're now within 6. And now runners at the corners with now 2 away. Fielder's choice for Hain gets him aboard. That'll be Wesley Knackers in for the Cougars. First baseman tonight. Runners at the corners, and the Cougars down to their final out. Hippis looking for the complete game again. This one a dribbler. Will it do it? Fielded by the shortstop Hildebrand. Flips it over to the second baseman Hawk, and that will do it. Final score here on the Fox Valley Technical College scoreboard. It is Kaukauna 9, Kimberly 3. As the Angels pick up win number 7 on the year, and the Cougars drop to, as a 19U team, 5-7 after the 6th inning surge, scoring 5 on the Fox Valley Technical scoreboard. So, coming up next, it'll be the Nasonville Dairy postgame show. Nasonville Dairy with fresh cheese curds made daily. Get your cheese curds, Nasonville Dairy in Marshfield, Curtis, or NasonvilleDairy.com. We'll step aside. I'll quickly break this down and get you on your way as we approach the weekend here on a Thursday night. Final score, Kaukauna 9, Kimberly 3. You're listening to and watching Zaleski Sports, powered by Nasonville Dairy.
Good day. My name is Ken Hyman, and welcome to Nasonville Dairy here in central Wisconsin, Marshfield, Wisconsin, as a matter of fact. Nasonville Dairy actually goes back to 1885. We are the oldest plant in Wood County. When our father brought us here in the early 1960s, we ran 7,500 pounds of milk a day. We now run 1.8 million pounds of milk a day. We buy dairy milk from 200 dairy farmers here in central Wisconsin, produce it, and ship it all over the world. We make a lot of different cheeses. We make cheddar, Colby, Monterey, Farmer's cheese, pizza cheese, Quesa Blanca, Quesa de Fir, Seco, Parm, Romano, Asiago, Fontina, Feta Caseri, Caflateri, Cafla Graviera, 20 different flavors of Monterey, as well as making Edam, Gouda, and Munster. This has allowed us to go to a lot of different countries. Our furthest accounts are now in China, Japan, Canada, Saudi Arabia. We do ship to Mexico, as well as a number of other places throughout the world. This is what we call Cheese Making 101. We tried to walk you through the cheese plant today, and we're in hopes that you see our people, what they're doing, and the amount of work that goes into producing the products that we hope you enjoy. We make a lot of different cheeses. We make cheddar, Colby, Monterey, Farmer's cheese, pizza cheese, Quesa Blanca, Quesa de Fir, Seco, Parm, Romano, Asiago, Fontina, Feta Caseri, Caflateri, Cafla Graviera, 20 different flavors of Monterey, as well as making Edam, Gouda, and Munster. And the cheese be with you.
Welcome you back one last time from Bay Oregon Field here at Kaukauna, Wisconsin. Your final score, the Kimberly Cougars 3, the Kaukauna Angels 9. We're going to highlight the defense, and it was especially the defense for the Kaukauna Angels. Maxwell Hippis had a no-hitter going through 4 complete innings, but knocking it down in the 5th was Schaefer Peterson to get the Cougars on the hit column. But final stat line for the complete game for Hippis and the Angels defense, 5 strikeouts, 6 hits, and 3 runs given up here on the Cougars. Taking the loss, on the other hand, was Drew Furman for Kimberly. As a team, the Cougars dropped to 5-7 overall, and the Angels move to 7-2 on the Summer Legion season. So, Kaukauna throughout the summer and the school year picks up win number 3 in total in the year 2026, and Kimberly drops once again to the Division I state champion Kaukauna Angels. Great to have you along the entire broadcast tonight, and it was a great one from start to finish. Beautiful conditions. Thank you for Kaukauna and Bay Oregon Field for having us here for one last time. I am Miles D. Troy, and this has been a presentation of American Legion Baseball here on Zaleski Sports. Thank you for watching, and have a great, safe weekend.